What's up, YouTube family? My name is Shaka Shabazz, and this is African-American-Made. Today, I'm going to Favor and Grace Under Fire, a therapy and consulting practice owned by Miss Ashlea Taylor. And the amiable Miss Ashlea has invited me to her practice to gain insight into the dynamics of family and couples therapy. We'll talk about the methods she employed to help families build or rebuild relationships and how she became an entrepreneur in the mental health field. After what I deem as a very special mastermind session, I intend to gain valuable tools to help me improve the relationships in my life as I myself travel a path of healing and understanding. So, be open-minded, get ready to dig deep, because today we're going to seek favor and grace under fire. What are some of the major goals of couples therapy and family and marriage therapy?
Yeah, so for both couples and family, a therapy term, we want to figure out what every person in the room, so the two partners in the couple or everybody in the family, starting with the youngest. So we always ask the youngest all of our questions first, and then we go to everybody else. But what's the baseline? In therapy terms, we call it the homeostasis. But this basically means when things are just content. They're not super exciting or elated. They're not horrible. But what is their interpretation or expectation of what daily life would look like when everybody is content, or specifically them. So we kind of go from there just to get an understanding of what that actually looks like. And in marriage and family therapy, the actual technique would be called the miracle question. So you would ask each family member, if you woke up tomorrow, walk me through your day with your family of what it would look like on your perfect day. And you get that example from everybody. And that right there is an assessment and a technique. Because if you have a 7-year-old telling you what their day looks like, you have a 13-year-old telling you what her day looks like, and then you have both parents telling you what their, most content, best day ever would be with their family, everybody is learning what that looks like and then comparing what it currently is to what everybody would hope it would be. So that's kind of where we start. But the goal is to get everyone on the same page, to teach everyone to communicate with each family member based on that family member's personality type. And number one for me is to always install in the family grace, that nobody's perfect, everybody's going to make mistakes, but how do you not get defensive or allow your hurt and pain to overshadow you being able to communicate with the person who hurt you in the family and solve the problem and move forward. So we want the family to leave couples or family therapy confident that they can move the family through the next life transition without so much hurt, contention, all the negative feelings, right? And not get stuck. Basically, we want them to learn how to get unstuck. Now, their goals would usually be something like, little Jordan is acting out in school. The school is for, and this would be for family therapy, sorry. So little Jordan is acting out in school. He won't sit down. He's picking on other kids. And maybe the school suggested that the family do family therapy, right? Little Jordan's a symptom of the problem. What's going on at home? Is there not enough structure? Are the parents fighting and Jordan's taking this out at school? Whatever the case may be, they'll be coming in for something like that versus what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is what's going to fix the problem and, why they hire me, if that makes sense.
Right. So they're going to uncover a bunch of things that they didn't even intend on. That's not why I'm here.
Well, and sometimes we get that, especially from parents, I'm not the problem. My kid's having the problem. Well, your kid the best. Your kid is a product of the environment that you create. Not that there's something wrong with you or something wrong with your kid. It's just something has your kid stuck or your whole family stuck, and the symptom is the reason why you're here.
Thank you so much for that. Mm-hmm. I can see where that could be a challenge in many instances. Because saying, hey, I know little Johnny has a problem here with school, but let's talk about you. Mm-hmm. And that could kind of be very overwhelming for a person just coming in for something else, and then they're learning a lot about themselves. And in the process.
It definitely takes some finesse, and we call it, the therapist style. It definitely takes some finesse. You don't just outrightly say, this is your fault.
Yes.
Because that's a parent or anyone in the couple, that's their worst nightmare. Nobody wants to feel like they are the ultimate problem. So it definitely takes some finesse. But yes, everybody who comes to therapy, you're doing work. There's probably something that you're going to have to pivot or change on.
Major benefits of seeing a therapist, in your opinion?
So the major benefits of seeing a therapist is, one, you should end therapy understanding more about yourself. Even if you're the most self-confident person, an unbiased, educated person who has been skillfully taught to utilize techniques is going to help you explore things that you didn't understand about yourself. Well, why is that important? Because most people move through life clearly not understanding their strengths and their weaknesses. And in any environment that you go in, if you have a clear understanding of who you are and your strengths and your weaknesses, you are going to thrive. There's not going to be any shame, blame, and guilt based off of your weaknesses, and you shouldn't be too egocentric for your strengths. There's going to be a clear balance. You're going to understand where you fit in each environment, and you're going to understand if it's an environment where you need to use your voice, where you need to fall back and follow, or where you need to lead. And that's just in general, wherever you go, okay? The second reason is most people at this point, going through the pandemic, have experienced some type of trauma. Trauma is simply just an event where your nervous system took over your brain because you came so emotionally disturbed. Your nervous system went into fight, flight, or freeze so you could survive, and your brain wasn't able to process the situation. That is literally all trauma is. Coming into therapy, you process the situation with a skilled individual who can carry that for you, and you leave unburdened. Now, why is that important? Because physical disease can be created by emotional dis-ease, and the opposite. So I'll say that again. Emotional dis-ease, depression, anxiety, whatever the OCD, whatever your issues may be, can manifest physically in disease. So a goal of therapy could be, I just got this new diagnosis of lupus, it's inflammation, they told me to go see a therapist because research has found that stress higher your cortisone, which is the stress hormone in your body, and it creates physical disease in your body. So that's another goal, to eradicate the trauma so you have a clear sense of how you're moving in this world, who you want to be with, who you want to be, and what you want to do. The third reason could be that you're just simply unhappy, right? You may have anxiety, you may have depression, you may be struggling with grief, the loss of something physical or the loss of someone, or a breakup, and you just can't seem to get past it this time. You're having a hard time finding emotional stability. You want an unbiased person who's not a part of your world, not a part of the situation, to be able to move through this situation with you and maybe give you a different perspective or even validate you. We see that a lot, where a lot of people come from toxic families, nobody has validated them, they feel horrible, and they honestly simply need someone to validate them. So those are just a few of the goals. There's a lot of goals in therapy, but those are some of the big ones.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you so much.